Hi everyone and welcome to EGX 2016. I'm James from Pass the Controller. Today we are going all around the show to show you as many different games as we can get our hands on. And first up we talked to Mark from Playtonic Games about Yooka-Laylee.
We're calling it a spiritual successor to some of the games that a lot of the team worked on in the past in the N64 era. It's an open world 3D platformer. A few of us came together, there was like 6 of us came together that had all previously worked on games like Donkey Kong Country and Banjo-Kazooie. And we started up this company called Playtonic, and with the aim of doing this game, and we did a Kickstarter which blew everybody's mind in how successful it was. We broke like £1 million in the first 24 hours. We reached our funding goal in like 40 minutes.
And how have you managed to kind of balance, paying homage, as you say, to some of those earlier games, but also obviously keeping it relevant and modern?
So it's something we've been very, very mindful of. We don't want to retread the past and just make a complete carbon copy of things we've done in the past. A lot of the game is very open world in terms of you go into a level, what you can do in there is up to you. The order in which you buy and unlock your moves is up to you. There's other things called tonics that you can earn. These are kind of like game modifiers. So if you do certain things in the game, you might be able to unlock tonics that you can apply that will help you play the way that you want to play. So it's very much a modern game in that sense, in terms of how freeform it is and how sandboxy it is.
It's obviously quite a self-aware game in that it kind of pokes fun at itself and the genre and tropes and stuff like that. I mean, how important was that to kind of bring through?
It's absolutely it's a part of our DNA, really. We'll poke fun at anything that we think's fair game, To be honest, a lot of stuff we put in because it amuses us, and hopefully people will share our humour and will laugh at stuff that we put in as well.
Indie games have always been a part of EGX, and this year is no exception. In fact, the EGX Res area of the show is probably bigger and more prominent than it ever has been in the past. And it's not just 8-bit indie platformers either. There's plenty of VR games here on display for the Vive, Oculus Rift and PlayStation VR, including Wildlands, probably one of the hardware's most high-profile release titles. There's quite a variety of games here on display, and we caught up with Over the Moon, developers of the full Part 2 Unbounded. So, for those in the audience who haven't heard of the first game and are not sure what it's all about, what can you tell us?
Totally, yeah. So, The Fall is a sort of narrative-driven sci-fi. We're pitching it as sort of Monkey Island meets Super Metroid, and in it you play as the artificial intelligence on board this futuristic combat suit. The guy inside the suit is unconscious, and it's your job to sort of take control of the suit and kind of drag his body towards medical assistance. And along the way, she encounters all these problems that have to do with her very rigid thinking and her laws of robotics and all the rest of it. She's got to kind of find loopholes and circumvent those rules.
I think what strikes me most, first of all, is the kind of nice balance that you have there between the kind of narrative puzzle-solving element and the combat element.
Oh, thank you.
And how difficult is that to kind of get that balance right?
Yeah, well, it's a bit difficult. I mean, the combat itself, the sections are a large part of the reason they're there is to kind of space up the gameplay, just so that players don't get a little bit just numb solving puzzles all the time. But the puzzles themselves, we work really hard to try and get them integrated with the gameplay as well. And that takes a while. That's a matter of like, what is this section of the game? What is the struggle the character's going through? And then how can we make challenges that actually require a type of thinking that is congruent with the conflict and the plot?
At EGX this year, Gears of War 4 is being shown off in 4K on a GTX 1080 piece on PC. And the single player looks pretty good, but the real question is, does it make a big enough difference to get yourself a new console? Of course, this is all early, alpha, beta, demo builds, but first impressions, particularly because of the weather effects in the single player demo, there is a difference. But having said that, it really depends how much the graphical fidelity of a game matters to you as to whether it's really something worth investing in. The other big show for the game is the all-new Horde mode, which has been one of the most popular games at the show so far. So it's been a busy old day at EGX this year. We managed to get our hands on Dishonored 2, which doubles the number of protagonists from the first game, although we played as Corvo again this time around. The other new protagonist is his daughter Emily, so that should be an interesting change up to the gameplay going forward. We also got some more hands-on time with Titanfall 2, not the single-player campaign, although I get the feeling that that announcement about that might be just around the corner. And it's been absolutely good fun. Still definitely one of the most anticipated games of the year for us at the moment. So how have you been finding EGX? Are you here somewhere? Have you been enjoying it? Are you coming through the weekend? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see more content from us at events and loads more stuff, then subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks very much. Bye.